You're right. Every time you leave your mind, you're caught in the wave of life. Taste of your weakness, they feast on the blood of trust. Faceless men in fancy suits will suck your spirit dry. Men with knives shape our mind to sell reality. What is wrong, what is right, seems like we lost ourselves. Let's shake the world around us. Let's break the hold inside us. Don't be, don't be. Let's shake the world around us. Let's break the hold inside us. Take the power and believe. Don't spend your life waiting to live. Everyday lies, the rise of mechanical hearts. No regard for human lives. How we rise. Men with knives shape our mind to some reality. What is wrong, what is right, seems like we lost our sight. Let's shake the world around us. Let's break the hold inside us. Don't be, don't be. Let's shake the world around us. Let's break the hold inside us.
All right, good morning, kids. Welcome to another exciting episode of the original Red Pill Show. Good evening. Good evening, Darren. Welcome to another fuck me up already. Sorry. Another exciting episode of the original Red Pill Show. Today is November 10th. Tuesday, right? Tuesday, November 10th, 2020. This show is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Please use it at your own risk. The show is copyrighted by moi and Freedom Revolution Network. No part of it can be reused, rebroadcasted in any way, shape, or form without our written consent, or you can just ask. Finally, show is opinionated. That's why I do it. The host, especially me, co-host Dwayne, guests, people that are naughty in the chat room. Anybody that calls in are and always will be opinionated under no circumstances whatsoever. Should opinions be taken as advice? If you're seeking professional advice, we strongly encourage you to hire a licensed and required person and his or her field, little Tommy. Yeah. Hey, man. No, that's his name. Broadcasting live from the wonderful state of Florida, where I don't think there was any voting fraud, if it even happened. But whatever. Not going to get into that right now. So what's going on? I hear Dwayne in there, so we'll bring him on.
I'm right here.
Cool. So I know we were talking to Mike and got on to the Freak, what is it? The Freak Child Show?
Freak Child Experience.
Experience, pardon me. So, yeah, I got up early, and good morning, Jocelyn and Darren and Mike. The show sucks. Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it.
3 shows in the night. Oof.
Really? So you haven't slept at all?
Well, let's see. Got home from the hospital, did my show, did his show. Now I'm doing your show with you as what's supposed to do. So,
Yeah.
hey, I'm here.
Well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Now, I don't know if you want to talk about it or not. That's fine. But you said you had a pretty massive seizure, and they are stress related, pretty much. I mean, do you know that? What
Pretty
triggers it?
much, they're either stress related or they're from drug induced injury from my past. I know this one was a huge fucking grandma seizure from what the hospital said because I stopped breathing for like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
But
All right.
no,
so-
if they want to freaking know, go to the night talk from last night and you can hear the story there. I'm not getting into it again.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know about you, and if if this is going to go down the stress road, let me know. But I
No,
think
you're good.
talking about things relieves stress. I mean, initially it might aggravate people or whatever, but I think you need to talk about this stuff. Not you specifically, all of us, to vent, actually.
Right.
And me personally, now I've never really cared about an election in my life.
Oh my God.
And this one's fucking me up
Agreed.
for a lot of reasons. But the mental toll and stress that it's taken on me is ridiculous. I mean, I ripped myself out of Colorado, which I was perfectly happy at until COVID-19 hit.
I mean, this election, Tim, has honestly fucking threw me through the. God, it makes me feel like I just want to pack up and move to fucking Canada.
Yeah, well, I'm running out of places to go, so
Come to Ohio.
it might happen. Well, there's some things going on right now, so actually, that's why it took me a time to get on here. I supposedly just been demoted at work, so
Oof.
yeah, that was a good way to tell me through a fucking phone message. So.
Oh, yikes. Text messages. That's not a good
No,
way
it
to
wasn't
do that.
text. It was a software that we use, and there's internal notes. And I just got a message that I've been demoted to crew member. So it's like, really? And all I'm doing is sitting here waiting for a paycheck. So that's that's a red flag there. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what my future lies, but I do know that if I don't have a job, I can't pay my bills. So Florida might be a short experience.
I mean, I hope you don't have to pack up and move again.
Well, you know what? It's up to the guy upstairs, and I don't think so. I think I came here for a reason, and things that have been removed from my life, regardless of what they are, has always led to better things. So I'm not too worried about it.
I mean, yeah, since you just said that, the book of Ecclesiastes does say there's a season for everything.
Right. And I'm having a bad season right now again, and I thought I was avoiding it by leaving Colorado, and it's just, it's still a bad season, but it's just different weather since we're talking about
I love how you said that.
Yeah. And but it's different experiences. I mean, I can do something about unemployment. I can't do anything about being locked down and my hours being cut. So that I can't do anything about except comply. So willfully or non-willfully or unwillfully or whatever the word might be. It's not a control issue. It's just that's not my life, and that's not my freedoms and liberties and pursuit of happiness. And I'm not going to be locked down again. So I'm not locked down. I just don't have a job. But I would be locked down with a job that would have me at 25 hours, which would eventually throw me out in the street anyway, because I can't live on 25 hours. So.
Yeah, because that's what all you were getting in Colorado, wasn't it?
It was until things opened up a little bit and through the summer. But the summer is a busy time of the year for me anyway in my industry. And it went back up to 40 hours, and things were good. But then I saw the writing on the wall, and I was paying attention, and they were warning that they're going to shut shit down again. And the outdoor seating at restaurants was doing pretty good in Colorado, but go to Colorado now and get a table outside and see how that works for you.
Pretty much. You know, and like you said, this election is driving everybody fucking bonkers. You know, like ever since the election, Tim, I don't think I've rarely ever left my house. Because I've said on air who I voted for multiple times. I've got friends who watch. I have friends who watch my show, but don't know where I live. Thank God.
Yeah.
But they know what city I live in, so I don't leave my house unless it's to go to fucking the convenience store or the doctor's. That's about it. Or in the middle of the fucking night when my friends pick me up. That's it. I don't leave my fucking house.
Yeah, that's not right. You shouldn't have to live in fear or reasons or whatever you're doing for security, because that's not right.
But that's where this election has brought us.
I know. That's exactly. That's where I was getting at. That's exactly where it's brought us. It's so weird.
It's like I carry, Tim, like, you know how I used to carry my pocket knife everywhere I went because I lived in Canton. You know, while I moved back to Massillon, living with my mother, I never had to carry my pocket knife. Now, since it's fucking election, Tim, the bitch is on me everywhere I go, besides the hospital.
Yeah.
Or a doctor's, well, besides the doctor's office. I slipped up and had it in my pocket today, but she understood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's going like the fuck? Like, why should I have to do all this just to make sure I'm safe, knowing if I stab somebody, I'm going to jail anyways?
Oh, yeah, I know. Don't even go down that road. Well, here, I had a pretty eventful weekend, and like sharing what happens to me and my time and everything else. And I went to a party over the weekend. It was Florida Gators college game against the Georgia Bulldogs, I think. Georgia? Whatever.
Yeah, Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah. And I had a great time. And there was, the demographics were anybody that just was in college or graduating college to people in their 60s, maybe a little bit older. So it was the whole demographic and people in between, just to give a visual of what was going on. And I talked to this one girl, and she was on her phone, and at the back of her phone, on her phone cover, said, "I voted." She had the "I voted" sticker. And I said, "You voted?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "So who'd you vote for?" She goes, "Who do you think I voted for?" And I go, "Trump." Now she's 21 years old, graduating in May, and that's about all I want to get into as far as her. But she was a very open-minded. I said, "I think you voted for Trump," and she goes, "No, I voted for Biden."
Oh, great.
And I said, "Congratulations." Well, no, I'm not going to be salty or sore loser about it. I go, "Congratulations." I mean, what you wanted in, who you wanted in, got in. I mean, allegedly, it's not official yet. So it's like, people still think, regardless of what the news is saying, that it's over and done with, and the elections results are official and over, and they're not. So you got to get that into your head.
Right.
But it was a very good conversation. I asked her what she was majoring. She told me, and this and that. And I go, everything. I says, "Well, good luck to you." And, I gave her a cheers with my Corona beer bottle, and she was, whatever she was drinking, and I walked away. So later in the night, fuck, it's not letting get me on mobile. What does that mean?
Oh, he's going to join here in a little bit.
So later in the night, there was a bunch of young people, college people again. And I heard every, Trump supporter, Trump hater, Biden supporter, Biden hater. But this one girl, it got into it in a discussion of why she voted for Biden. And it wasn't even a discussion. It was just, what were some of the facts? Oh, the president not paying taxes or paying less than a barista at Starbucks or whatever, which is, I guess I need to explain that again.
Oh, God, here we go.
Human rights. I like human rights. Global warming. What else was she saying? Oh, her women's rights. and her whites to her body and all this kind of stuff. And there was really no talking to her because another person at the table who was pro-Trump, I mean, it's amazing people can't sit and just talk about this without losing their shit.
I mean, wasn't that how it was with Barack Obama and Mitt Romney fucking situation?
That wasn't Obama and who was
Yeah,
it?
it was.
And Romney?
When they ran against each other.
Well, it might have. Okay, but Romney wasn't the nominee. So, but yeah, okay, if he was in that mix, I don't recall. Like I said, I didn't pay attention, honestly, to really any other elections besides this one. And the turnout, first of all, you got to say the positive stuff. And that's what I'm going to say about this. These college kids, okay, 21 years old. I am so impressed that they are involved, concerned, or up on current issues, whether they're brainwashed or not. And they know what's going on. When I was 21 years old, Dwayne, all I wanted to know is where the party is and where's my fucking beer.
I mean, you're not wrong. I was literally 21 last year. And that's how it was for me.
Right.
Like what time did the bar close? Where's the parties? Where's the booze? Well, where's the booze and the drugs?
Mm.
You know, I didn't give a fuck about a goddamn politics.
Right. And I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed with that. But the indoctrination from, and her mother was sitting next to her, and her mother didn't say a word. And that's very difficult to do because she's pro-Trump and her daughter's pro-Biden.
Oof.
Yeah, and it's, you know what I think it is? I think with all due respect, and I hate using age, whether you're old or young, is a factor, but I just think it's a lack of experience of life before you finally realize and you start changing your perception on things.
Well, I mean, like, I'm going to play off a key factor you said here is when you said that these kids were up to date on, you know, current issues and everything. I mean, that plays a whole part in who they voted for.
Right.
You know, and for these kids to do that, and especially for a mother and daughter that are two totally different parties, to sit at one table together, God, if me and my mom voted for the two different people, we would be up each other's asses about it.
Well, don't get me wrong. There was, all legal age people there at 21 and over drinking, and there was discussions, which I would say were arguments. Everything from, well, I hope you're happy because gas is going to $10 a gallon now, and all this other crap. And they all argued and spit back and forth, point, counterpoint. But in the end, it's like, why are we talking about politics? Who even cares? So people are already getting dismissive again or apathetic because, it is what it is, and we have to accept it regardless of who won, which I guess is okay. I mean, there's really, it's like a Muslim arguing with a Christian. You're just not going to get anywhere.
I love your fucking that. I love your analogies too.
Well, tell me how it is. I mean, some people do convert, but it's very rare.
It's especially in a family.
Right. Exactly. In a school and work.
Like I can say with like that instance, like my mother converted before I did, and I didn't convert for another 3.5, 4 years.
Uh-huh.
And that's because, well, my mother was breathing down my back. But at the same time, though, it's harder for these days, especially when it comes to political parties.
Right. Well, I want to touch on some of the things she brought up here, which I'll give everybody all the things I said that I'm remembering. The first one was the tax thing. I don't want to really spend a lot of time on it because I'm sick of it. And I'm going to tell you people, do your homework on this stuff. Don't turn on CNN. Fox is turning into a liberal station. So, but even if they still were right-wing conservative supporting the president 100%, don't listen to them either.
Don't turn on CNBC.
Yeah. And just really what you should do is turn all of them on and then figure it out for yourself. Get little pieces of the puzzle and then come up with your own final piece of the puzzle to make it complete.
What like we did on election night?
Well, fuck. I mean, that was so confusing.
That was a good example.
Yeah, and even then, everything that was predetermined or predicted went out the window. So you can't. You think you got it figured out in the last piece, and then somebody comes and picks up your puzzle or knocks it off the table, and you got to start all over again and put it together. And that's what happened with this election.
Morning.
In this morning. I mean, everything. I mean, I'm not to the point of anger and, motherfucker, and that kind of stuff. Oh, by the way, I got a strike against me on my show on Spreaker.
What?
Because they said somebody flagged one of your episodes and it's not suitable for all ages. And I never said it was. And I put explicit all over the place.
I mean, don't you do that right in the fucking intro?
Well, see, people, that's that. There you go. I mean, please use it at your own risk. I don't know how much clearer I got to get. I do swear, I do say things, but if you're going to focus on F-bombs and swear words and explicits other than the content of what I'm saying, then the show's not for you. So just, if you want to complain and it puts a smile on your face, go ahead. But you're totally missing the point of what I'm trying to say, because I'm passionate in what I'm trying to get across to you, which is to make you think, not to make you offended because I say fuck. Really? If you're doing that, you're not listening.
Right. There's and you know what, Tim? And that's the part of it. There's so much censorship going on. Like,
right.
My night talk video I did with Mike, my fucking the video clip we used got censored.
Yeah. See, but and stuff that the president, I don't like the road we're going down. And now Fox is joining in because they were listening to the White House spokesperson. I forgot her name. And it was live. And Neil Cavuto on his show interrupted her and threw her off the air.
They threw the president off the air.
See, it's what I'm saying. But not once did anybody get thrown off the air or censored for the Russian collusion crap.
Oh my God, we're gonna go back to that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm just making a point.
No, okay. I know. I'm just gonna go. Oh my God, that was so long ago.
Exactly, but it went on until not that long ago, for over 3 years, I think.
And I guess it's like this, especially when you cut President Trump off in the middle of a speech.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like Pelosi ripping up his fucking papers right behind him on fucking national television.
Yeah, I know. And then she wonders why he wouldn't shake her hand. I mean, I don't get this whole dysfunctionality thing. It's god awful. It's like watching, I don't want to name a name, but like the most dysfunctional family, whether they're famous or not, that you ever heard of. And there's a TV show about it, which there are TV shows.
The Kardashians.
Yeah, well, whatever. But, but this is reality in the highest positions in the strongest, most powerful government on the entire planet. And these people are behaving like that.
But here's the thing, though. Like, and I was thinking about that because I know you said something about that the night that we all did a show together on Monday when it was your show.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about that. I was honestly kind of challenged my mind. See, like, here's my thing with Pelosi. Like, I blame Trump 100% because you picked that bitch. Like, I'm sorry, you picked that bitch to be Speaker of the House. I'm sorry, you're stuck with her for 4 years.
He nominate or elect her or whatever? I don't even know how that works.
He nominated. He nominated her for Speaker of the House.
Oh boy!
Because each new president gets to come in and redo their cabinet. But before the cabinet, they get to do the Speaker of the House. Because whatever happens to the president, vice president goes up. Remember how I said Biden gets impeached, Kamala Harris becomes president, who becomes vice president? Pelosi, Speaker of the House.
Right. Yeah, you brought that.
President gets to pick their Speaker of the House, and now everyone's fucking picked Pelosi for some goddamn fucking reason.
Right.
She's been in office way too. And you know what? That's another problem. Everybody in the Senate and everybody in the House has had their seats for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, a lot of them got thrown out, though. Not a lot, but a lot lost their seat because of the, what do they call them? The gang, the crew, AOC, and all their radical opinions, and that they're afraid they're going to get not thrown out because they're not in it, but they're afraid they're going to not be nominated or involved in the Biden administration.
I mean, yeah, like you guys put a term, a term on the president. Why not put a term on the House and Senate? Do 8 years.
Yes, max. Right.
I mean, God, how long has Biden been in the fucking Senate for before he became vice president? Fucking forever. It was either House or the Senate.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, term limits definitely got to be. And these people make more money after they're out of office anyway. So if it's about the money, if it's about the money, then leave and make your money. But it's more about power is what it's all about.
I mean, and here's the thing. Money, and I've always learned this. Money is the root of all evil. You fold a bill up. I forget what bill it is. I think it's like the $5 bill, the $10 bill. Fold it up the right way and it spells it out.
Right. I'm sure it does.
You fold up the $1 bill, you get the Twin Towers.
Yeah, isn't it weird? I don't know.
I'm just bringing up I was just using that as an example. Like, money is the root of all evil. We have almost every fucking thing that's happened. Watch you fucking, we have the new $20 bill and we get the fucking COVID symbol. Oh my God.
Interesting.
I'm just saying if that happens, I'm not going to be shocked.
Right. Well, I'm bringing this stuff up. Hey, good morning, everybody. What's that? I'd like your opinion. We got people here in Podbean. I'm just going to, all right, hang on a minute. I got all this shit going into my head. Marty Gras Benton, welcome. Is the president stupid? Real question. No. I do think he's a narcissist, though, and he likes having his way, and he kind of has a temper tantrum like a little kid until he does get his way. Because he's been a business owner, self-made business owner, and he calls the shots.
So wait, what's the question?
The question is,
is the president stupid?
Yes.
Okay, do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah, but let me say this first. So just hang on to that. Because it distracted me. I just wanted to say hi to people in the chat room, and I'm doing this before I get into this, and I completely forgot what the fuck I was going to say. So,
Tim.
Justin, what I'm going to say is this. Well, a couple things. We're going to get, or at least I am going to get banned off of YouTube and all these other social media. And in fact, I canceled all my social media.
You got rid of Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I just got rid of Twitter over the weekend, Instagram, all of them. And I've been on Twitter for years. I might go to Parler because I keep hearing about that, and it seems to be. You're probably too young for this. If not, that's fine. But there used to be a thing called MySpace.
I had a MySpace.
Okay, so that was the Facebook of the day, and then Facebook came on and totally annihilated MySpace. So MySpace is not space. Sorry, Facebook's days are numbered. So. I just refuse to participate in such censorship, to be perfectly honest with you. Not to mention the citing and the hate and all that, because I got people that are on Facebook still, and I go, I am so glad I'm off there. I don't even want to see it. And they said, yeah, it's really bad. So I knew that was going to happen. But if you don't play the game or listen to it, you're going to be censored, edited, or banned. And this network is definitely heading down that road among other people in networks. I'm not picking on us. But the days are numbered where that's going to happen. And I don't know what's going to be done, if anything. I mean, the only way you really get any type of freedom to get your word out of there without being censored is podcasts.
Like this.
Direct, yes. That's why I do this also on Podbean, because unless Spotify or even Podbean itself starts doing the same thing, there's no way to stop the show. It's going to go to my listeners. That's why you should have the Podbean app on your phone. It is on Apple. See, Podbean app is about the only way you're going to get it. And the rest of them I name, it probably won't be on there eventually. But Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, all the other ways of platforms you can listen to this show.
Oh, you're on Spotify?
Yeah, I'm on Spotify under the original Red Pill Show. And what other ones? I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm on. I don't really care, to be honest with you. As long as some people are listening, or one, to be perfectly honest, that's enough for me. I'm not looking to take over the planet by any means or anything, or get rich and famous. I'm just trying to make you think. So, but that's going to happen. But so now back to this. No, not fuck you, Marty Gras Benton. I'm sorry. You have to be patient. You have to be patient. All right. The chat room is very distracting, and it's not like I'm sitting here just looking at the chat room. I got 7 windows open, anywhere from phone calls back to StreamYard to that to going to just there's a lot of shit going on. I don't have a producer to look out for me, and nobody else on this network does. So don't take it as you're being
ouch,
because you're not. What?
When you said no one else in this network does, I went like, ouch.
Well, they don't. We just don't have it. So go ahead and comment to her in your response. Honest opinion, she's asking, because she says he's made a lot of mistakes. Is he stupid?
Is the president stupid? In my simplest terms, no. I feel like he's a bigot ass businessman that wants to turn in. Okay, so here's my thing. When Trump came into office, here's my thing. He's doing it that way in case he gets, voted out, like this is possibly going to happen. He has his business to rely on. He is a businessman. He is a con artist. A lot of businessmen like Trump are con artists. Sam, what's the word I'm looking for?
The con artist?
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't even say it. I need a beer. Go ahead.
He's also a narcissist.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't think he's any of the other labels. I think he's a narcissist. But go ahead.
But the reason I say con
artist.
Con artist.
/ very good salesman.
Yeah, / very good salesman. Is because of the fact of only he is a businessman who is a fucking multi-billionaire.
Correct.
That's why I call him, what do I call him? An orange head Oompa Loompa ass narcissist.
It's named. We're going down the playground road. But yeah.
But that's one of my answer, and I'm just being honest. Good morning, Pam.
Okay.
I'm just being honest. He's not stupid. He knows what he's doing, and it's worked for 4 years.
It's quite the contrary. He's very smart, and he's a chess player. So, I mean, you're just going to – if you just look at what he does in real time, then it could be perceived that he's stupid and he makes a lot of mistakes. That's how you learn, though. If there's anybody out there, and this isn't a jab against anybody in the chat room, this isn't condescending – you learn more by your failures and mistakes than you do your successes.
Right.
So he's made a lot of mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm sure Dwayne's made a lot of mistakes.
Too many.
Okay. But that's how you learn. You learn by making mistakes by what not to do. It's hard to learn by successes because, yeah, I did the right thing, and you move forward, and you move forward, and you move forward. But the one time you make a mistake that knocks you down 10 steps and go, oh, fuck. I won't do that again. It makes you learn a lesson to point you in the direction that you need to go.
Right. Tim, I'm gonna make you laugh here real quick.
Okay.
So I've been out of the hospital since 10:30, 11 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had one of their stickers on me from the EKG machine on me this whole time. Just one sticker. Fucking
Okay.
one sticker on my left waist. I know it was there until I started scratching, and it's sitting there. And it took me 20 minutes to peel this bitch off because it was stuck.
Why
I
don't
forgot it was
you
there.
showing it? Because I can't see you. You got your mic, or sorry, camera. There you go.
So this thing, it's
Yeah.
an EKG tab.
Okay.
Because they keep track of your heartbeat through this.
Yeah.
This was stuck, like on this side of my waist, since 10:30 when I peeled all these off.
Yeah.
And I just got it off, and I've been picking at this thing for 20 minutes, not knowing what the hell this was.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
I thought this was a part of my skin until I felt that.
I'm sure the sensor thingy.
So I
Connector.
figured you needed a good laugh this morning.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's funny. That's good. All right, so I'm going to bring this shit up issue by issue because I want to talk about it. And you being younger, I want your perspective on it.
Okay.
But I'm going to say this as a preface. I go, I talked to somebody else about, well, I'm not paying attention to politics because it doesn't affect my life. That is such an inaccurate statement. If you're going to pay $10 a gallon for gas and your taxes are going to go up and yada, 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 and your hours are going to be cut again, I don't see how you can say that.
You know what? I actually have to agree with you on that one.
It's true, though. People.
That's why I'm saying I agree with you, because the fact you say that, okay, well, how say that like you just said that with the dude's response.
A guy told me, said, I'm not paying attention to politics, and I don't because it doesn't affect my life.
Bullshit. That's taxation, gas.
Right. Yep.
How much you spend on food,
Insurance,
medical insurance, car insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going like, you have to be paying attention to some sort of politics.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, like when I know Arizona and the pot smokers are happier and shit because I think they legalized it there. So
we covered that on election night.
Yeah, so tell me how that doesn't affect your life if you're a pot smoker. So regardless if it's positive or negative, politics and policy affect your life.
At an all-time high.
No pun intended, right? So one of the things, and I'm looking at this, and really, if Biden legitimately won and he did, congratulations to everybody. I'm not gonna say anything negative about it. It is what it is. Accept it, deal with it, and support the president because he's the president. Period.
Now, so can I ask you to clarify that for a minute?
No, absolutely not. What?
Do you mean support everything he does?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I'm just having you clarify.
No, support and respect the position. It's just like your dad or your mom. You don't fucking agree with everything they say. So you don't take your mom or your dad and go, oh, what a fucking bitch or what an asshole, and fucking like try to make them look bad and discredit them, do you? Because if you win the award for the fucking most dysfunctional family. You don't. You have to respect that that's your mom and that's your dad. You might not agree with one thing they say, but that's still your mom and your dad. This is still the president of the United States.
I mean, yeah.
Unless he's Hitler or he goes around killing people and, just like, wait a minute. No, I don't give a flying fuck who this guy or woman is for that matter. I am not supporting that. There's boundaries you have to have.
Right. Like, even though I'm a Trump supporter, I do support some of the things that Biden said.
All right, so wait a minute. Justin's asking me something. So what are you referring to, Justin? So he says, so let me ask you a question. What do you think of this is not my president shit? Are you talking about Trump? Are you talking about Biden? Or
I think he's talking about Trump. People saying this is not my president.
Regardless of if you say my, because this isn't my, this is our. This is we the people. He is the president of, that's like working at work and you have your job and you go, well, that's not my CEO or my president or my boss. No, the fuck if it ain't. And try telling him that he's not and see how that works out for you.
No, I think he's actually talking about Biden. Hold on. I
Well, I
was
don't know.
wrong.
That's why I want him to clarify. I don't know what he's talking about.
So, and if Biden is president, fucking whoop-de fucking do.
He's not president until he's sworn in. So,
Okay, that's what he just said.
oh,
Where the Democrats act towards Trump. Look, Trump's still our president. He's our president either way till January 20th if he loses.
yeah, I've never seen a president, not even Obama. I mean, there's been some really bad things said about him because he's black, and that shouldn't have anything to do with it. But I've never seen any president in my recollection since I've been on this planet with such hate, disdain, and disrespect in my life.
I mean, now people have been doing this to Trump since Hillary, since
Since
fucking
Hillary lost.
yeah, since Hillary lost.
Mm-hmm.
Said this ain't my president.
Well, he is your president. You're delusional. That's what I say.
When people say you are not, this is not my president, bitch, he just ain't your president. He's ours. He's
Exactly.
our chief and commander in office. When shit goes bad, he's the one that intervenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so how's that not your president? You're still alive and free because of the motherfucker. Respect it.
Yeah, respect it. And you still have the right to address grievances to your government. So there's never going to be a president that everybody agrees with. It's just impossible. But it's the title's not my president. The title is president. There's nothing you can do about that until you decide to vote.
Right. And Tim, and I'm going to throw out something here. And you'll probably know where I'm coming from in a minute. Romans 13 says respect anybody that's giving authority above us.
Mm-hmm.
That's like even if Biden wins, like I've told Biden supporters, congratulations. Like I actually sat down and had dinner with a couple of them, and it was civil conversations on why did we vote for one side and why did they vote for the other. But with all this hate going, Trump's not my president going, like, bitch, yeah, he is. I mean, that's the only other way to put it is I can go, like, are you just stupid or are you retarded?
Well, in a dysfunctional family thing, unless one of your parents really did something bad to you where you disown them, they're disowning their parent. They're disowning the president. That's what they're doing. That's not my mom. That's not my dad anymore. He's not my president. And that's not, unless is an extreme circumstance where you just have to move on and move upward and not be dragged into the hypnotic rhythm of being stuck in a fucking family because it's family. What am I going to do? You can't do this to this president. You can't do it to anybody. It's just going to cause dissension and disrespect for the position, and it hurts the system. It hurts the system. And we got enough of that going on right now.
There's enough of all this shit going on right now, and people just need to grow up.
Right? Yep. I don't know, Pamela. We'll find out. I can't. The proof's in the pudding. I don't know if he lost this election fairly or not. That's not for me.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I wanted to point this out because I pointed out the one night that you were watching one of our shows. It turned into an argument, and I'm not trying to turn it back into an argument. The federal government is catching USPS workers trying to run to the fucking Canadian border with boxes full of fucking ballots.
Oh my God, that's treason, I think. But go ahead.
Like, okay, when Hunter Biden's laptop got found, Tim, we all talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
$3.3 billion were found from China. Okay. And $1.3 billion was found from the Ukraine. Now, I mentioned this to Scarlett, and everybody knows Scarlett disagrees with me quite a lot. But when I said there's a 9 times out of 10 possibility that China and the Ukraine have their fucking hand in this election, she went like, Dwayne, you actually might be right. Because I got a feeling if Hunter Biden has that much money coming in from two fucking countries, and then Joe Biden turns around and fucking fires the prosecutor from Ukraine for the fucking energy company, Tim, something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2 weeks before the election.
Yeah, there's something going on, but nobody wants to pay attention to it, and it's all dismissive. So it's all that'll come out to maybe. I don't know. I don't. But there's some things that are going to happen if Biden wins and takes over. He's going to pretty much reverse everything Trump did. You better learn how to speak Chinese, and energy is going through the roof, and so are your taxes. So if that makes you happy and you can live with that and that's what you want, that's what you're going to get.
Taxation without representation.
Well, that's a whole different thing. But anybody that he has everybody fooled that by doubling, this is how I understand it, doubling the capital gains tax from 20% to 40% is a punishment to the rich. Because
it's not.
That's because that's your gain on whether it's a savings account to a 401k to stock investing to cryptocurrency to whatever. So, and their thinking is, and here lies in the problem. What they're saying is that only rich people invest money. That's not true. There's a lot of people, including me, that have made it or trying to make it through this fucking pandemic by capital gains and income so I can pay my bills. And you're going to take another 20% of that from me. So if I make $1,000 in crypto, I'm going to give the government 400 instead of 200 because I'm rich.
In all reality, we're not rich. You know, in all reality, check this, Tim. That's right. And I know that's what you are too. I think you're considered middle class, aren't you, bud?
I am now. Yeah. Yep.
You know, we're considered middle class. I receive disability and shit because, you know, everybody knows because of my seizures. I do that, work a part-time job, and I bring in about a month, $1,400-$1,500. Y'all think that would pay the bills for the month, right? No. You want my bills total altogether in a month about $2,200-$2,300.
Yep.
It takes two of us working, me and my mom working, plus my SSI coming in, plus food stamps just to keep food in this house because by the time bills are done, we're gonna fucking starve.
Eventually, yeah. See, and you get it, and being so young and you understand that just floors me. That is because you get it. You get it. You understand it. You see it coming. Most people just wake up and go to bed and they live. You should live day to day or one day at a time, but their mindset doesn't have any foresight of what's coming down the road.
Right. You know, like right now, you know, I just don't take care of my mom and the bills. I take care of a 19-month-old baby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my son.
Expensive.
Not just a 19-month-old baby, but my child.
Right.
So, add, I'd say about another $500, $600 a month on top of that for my kiddo,
mm-hmm.
which isn't a problem dropping that out. I'm about to drop more than that on Christmas and turn my freaking income taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for his freaking birthday. But here's the thing, Tim, there's some days I go without eating so my mom and him can eat when they're here.
See, now you're being honest and real, and people don't. They just say you in front of this camera on the show and everything's just fine, and you're eating fine and everything's fine, and you got time to wait. I'm just being an asshole here, and you got time to waste and nothing better to do, so you do this show, I guess, kind of like me. So your life's fine, but your life isn't fine. And I can promise you, a lot of people's lives are not fine right now. A lot of people are eating mac and cheese. Not that there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a judgment call. It's a status call. People are barely making it and deciding, what bill am I going to pay? You know, what car am I going to let go? I got to let the car go. You know, or am I going to feed my kid? Or is my kid going to eat first before me? People are starting to make those decisions, or have been for a while, and that's not right.
like, and I'll say it like this, is like,
Yeah, rice and beans. Sorry, Grant said that. Go ahead.
like if my mom and them are having like if my son's here and it's him, like my mom makes hamburger helper, she'll buy a twin pack, but I'll tell her to keep that for her and Dean, and I'll get like 3-4 packs of ramen noodles, and like maybe like a bag of pizza rolls,
Mhm.
So they can eat, and I can munch throughout the night. They have actual food, but here I am eating produced food, frozen food.
Processed food. Yeah.
Yeah, processed food,
Yeah.
frozen.
Right.
And everyone goes like, Dwayne, you don't have to do that. And we're like, technically, on all reality, yeah, it is. Because I don't come first. My mom and my son does.
Well, you're being a man and a provider and a dad and a good son replacing a dad. I don't want to get into that, but you're taking the man role of the house is what you're doing.
Yep.
That's what you're supposed to do.
But it's all because it's all comes down to how much gets taken out of my taxes.
Right.
Social
Exactly.
Security, Medicaid, state taxes,
Well, that's
city
going up.
taxes.
Social Security's going up from what I heard. But go ahead.
City taxes, and then whatever Lowe's takes out for taxes. I'm fucked.
Yeah, and I don't understand the more taxes and higher taxes and pay your fair share is patriotic somehow, because that money just gets pissed down a hole. And if you think the government's going to create jobs and create them more efficiently than the private sector, you're crazy. That's where capitalism comes in.
Yep.
The more business you have and the more businesses paying taxes, well, they don't pay any taxes. Yes, they do pay taxes. I'm going to tell you right now, they pay taxes. So, and if they don't pay taxes on their corporate profit under the corporation umbrella, they're paying taxes, and they pay taxes. Number one, I'm just going to use one example. Social Security is paid half by the employee and half by the employer, which is 7.5%.
Yep.
So companies, corporations are paying taxes. You people got to get that shit out of your head that company corporations don't pay taxes. Yes, they do pay taxes.
Like Lowe's, I think Tim is about the same, 7.5.
7.5%, which is going up. I don't know how much it's going up. And for
right.
what? Social Security is a scam. It's paid in the rears. And when I finally found that out not that many years ago, I was pissed. That's my fucking money. And then not to mention, I hear they tax it when you take it out as income when it was a tax to begin with, which is double taxation. And supposedly that tax is going up too. So you have an income tax on a tax that was a tax to get taxed more for income. That is ridiculous.
Right. And, like when I filed my taxes this year, dude, I barely made enough with the one job I was with last year, dude, but I owed that city $120 fucking dollars.
Well, there you go. When I had my own business, I don't fucking care about this, okay? Because I'm tired of it. I'm not bragging. I have real life proof experience by my books and my tax returns. I was taxed at $350,000 between my wife at the time and me on personal income. My tax rate was a little over 20%. So you do the math. I was paying over $60,000 a year to the federal government in taxes.
When that could be money used helping your family.
Or give to charity or whatever. I mean, believe me, I or reinvest it into my company so I can grow and give people more jobs. They just passed the minimum wage here in Florida by ballot and referendum or whatever, and votes that passed, that is progressively going to $15 an hour. I can promise you, people are going to lose their job.
Still not going to be enough to live off of.
But that's not, you don't make businesses pay, market dictates wages. Okay. Are wages too low? Fuck yeah. I think wages are too low for everybody, except when you get to a certain level in management and corporations and bonuses and all the other fucking crap that they give them. And even if you fire them, you give them a golden parachute. Wouldn't you like to get money for being fired?
Right. Like Tim, so you just said like upper management rate. I was a supervisor for a paramedic service, making $23.85 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, 23.85, and I'm working maybe 3 12s a week.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, that still ain't enough
No, it's not. No.
because you got to think it's either 3 12s, a 24, and then 2 12s.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, it's not enough.
No, it's not. And I was making $31 an hour in Colorado, and I had some obligations I had to pay. But I wasn't living high in the hog. I was living in a shithole little 1-bedroom apartment and not living high in the hog. My truck is a used truck. It's 4 years old. My motorcycle's from 2009, and I had some obligations to pay from my business folding, which I got fucked on. And sorry if that offended you. If you heard "fuck," that's all you heard. Then you're not listening. But I think $30 an hour is sustainable. I think somebody can live on $30 an hour. I don't think you can raise a family on it. I'm sure some people do, but they don't have a choice. But $30 an hour, I think somebody has to make $100,000 a year to comfortably raise a family.
I wouldn't even say that. $100,000. I would say just live, because watch this. Rents. Okay, I'm gonna use my state for example, right? Rent can go anywhere from $535 a month to $820 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have gas that can go anywhere between $100 and $200.
Right.
Electric, depending on the electric company, like with AEP, my bill went anywhere. Yeah, that was in my name. That was my first bill in my name. Actual bill. I'd say that was about anywhere between $45 and $75 a month.
Mm.
And then plus, I was living with my significant other at the time. And then you had a $182 car payment plus the loan.
Yeah.
That was the loan. Then we were paying $120 in insurance.
You know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to argue with you in the least bit, and I'm not giving anybody financial advice. I'm just going to say how I pay my bills. You've said monthly. I learned a long time ago when I raised my family, barely making any money, because I got paid weekly, and I at the time didn't understand money. And there's a book out there, and it's dated. It's called "Wealth Without Risk and More Wealth Without Risk" with Charles Given.
Okay.
And I learned about money. People need to learn about money. So after I started educating myself at 27 years old about money, at least in personal finances, I decided the best thing to do is take my bills and divide them by 4. And then what I would do is I would write down on 4 separate. I still got it in front of me here. Here you go. I'll prove it to you. Not that I have to, but here this is what I do. There's my bills right there, and I write them all down, and that's what I'm putting weekly away because I get paid weekly. So when rent comes or my car payment comes, I'm stuffing it away weekly and not spending it. And if you even want to go to the point of writing it in your checkbook or putting it in Quicken or however you track your finances and write it down, let's say rent $1,000 a month. Well, I wrote a check for $250 to my rent, so that's gone. So your ledger shows that. Now it's not going to reconcile with your bank statement, but I'm not talking about that. The point is that if you live month to month based on monthly expenses and you get paid weekly or even bi-weekly, you're not going to be able to pay your bills.
Well, that was the good thing about Julia's job, though, dude. She was bringing home $1,200-$1,300 every 2 weeks. That's because she worked a dangerous job working in a saw blade factory. That's family owned and they pay good.
It's still not a lot of money, though, man. I'll be honest with you. That's not a lot of money.
We lived. All 3 of us lived comfortably.
That's great.
Off that. I mean, it got tight at times, when my son's formula started flipping, and and then, dude, a big jar of Similac Pro Advanced was $45. No, $53 a fucking month, and he went through that, Tim, every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
once he hits 6 months.
not to mention diapers, and then God forbid they get sick, and it's just ridiculous. Kids are so fucking expensive.
Oh God, we were set on diapers. We didn't have to fucking worry about that.
Well, good for
we
you.
got over 100 cases on freaking baby shower. That's one thing that saved our ass.
But they are expensive,
Oh my God.
and they don't give you a break. If you buy bulk, unless maybe you go to a big box store, they don't give you a break. It's all the fucking same price per unit.
A big box of diapers in a 3-pack and a pack that comes in 3, so there's about 9 packs, in a whole package, cost me $70 a month
Yeah,
on diapers and wipes.
yeah, there you go.
That's not including his juice, his food, him being lactose intolerant. So then trying to find ways around, him being able to eat cereal, mac and cheese, hamburger helper, having to switch all that shit out. Which we don't. We still cook regular milk because it's not in there for him to be allergic to.
Yeah.
But accommodate for a kid who now has health issues, dude. It's like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Well, you're just bringing up legitimate stuff, and it's it's everything that that most Americans go through, and they don't talk about it, and they just deal with it. But I just don't understand the thinking that it's okay to give the government 40-50% of your check or whatever it is, and that somehow makes you patriotic, but you can't survive. That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
And we fought for this in the Revolutionary War.
Well, yeah, and the Boston Tea Party and the whole 9 yards. I know. They wanted to tax tea, and we told them to go fuck off.
And look what they're doing now.
Well, I know. So but they got the guys that taxes is pay your fair share. And then when you figure out a way legally to pay less taxes or as accused no taxes, you're an asshole.
You know what? And here's the thing, like, watch this. I've learned this, okay? So I learned a cool trick from Mel. Anything I buy from my laptop that I'm doing the show on right now, write it off as a business expense.
For doing your job, yeah. I don't know if you can do it 100%, but you can definitely do that, yeah.
Like, write it off, like, say, like a 5-10%, business tax.
Yeah, I don't know what the allowable. It's like if you spend $1,000 on a computer, a certain amount of that is deductible. Not the whole thing, but a certain amount of it is.
So like, I stream off of 2 devices. I stream off my Xbox, which is my one business because I do Twitch, and I stream off. I do shit on here, so I do 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, doing that and having a business deductible off Twitch, because I was getting paid by Twitch then too, I was able to write my shit off, and I gained about $500-$600 of what I spent back.
Oh, well, you're unpatriotic. You're an asshole. You're Trump. I'm going to call you Trump.
Well, it's because I found a loophole. Like you said, we have to find loopholes in the system.
Yeah, but
that was mine.
But somebody said that over the weekend. They're not loopholes. They're tax deductions that are there for you to take, because the tax deduction incentivize you to spend money in a certain industry because the government and the politicians want a certain sector to do better. So they give you a tax break if you spend money in that sector. That's why they do what they do.
I know I'm fucked this year either way.
Yeah, well, wait till next year. But I want to get into this just very briefly for people to understand this. So this isn't political, okay? This is taxes in the way, since I just said what I said. The government gives you incentives to spend your money where it's tax deductible because they want money flowing into that sector so it can grow, okay? And the number one sector for that is, in my opinion and observation, is real estate. That's why your mortgage is 99.9% tax deductible for the first 10 years on a 30-year fixed mortgage. That's why your property taxes are, which I don't agree with them, but I'm not going to win that, are tax deductible.
Right.
There's tax deductions for a reason, because they want you to spend your money where they want you to. Okay. Now, in real estate investing, and I know a little bit about it because I was taking classes to do it, and I stopped. But the people that were giving the seminars were saying, my real estate company did millions of dollars and blah, 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 blah. My personal taxes, my personal income is less than the poverty level. I don't pay taxes, income tax, because they're under poverty level, whatever that is. I don't know what that would be. So, and they bragged about it, and they're driving nice cars, and they got houses, and they got everything else. And the reason why that is because they're structured where the corporation is paying their bills. So I'm sure the rent is paid by they're renting a property from. I don't know how to structure it. I'm just saying that they're living in a house that's owned by the real estate business, and they're paying for that. So they don't have a mortgage. Okay. Then their car is a company car. They don't pay for the fucking car. And yada, yada, yada. The only thing they probably pay for is food. So how much money do you really need to survive in a year just on purchasing food? It's at or around poverty level. So that's why, let's just say Trump did pay $750 fucking dollars. Okay, yeah, he did. You win. All right. You know why? Because of the way he's structured. So he personally probably didn't get paid a lot of money. I know he did. He's a fucking CEO and a billionaire, and his titles, his ego wouldn't let it happen. Put it that way. I'm sure he's making a shitload of money on a W-2 wages, and he's supposed to pay taxes on it. Are you sleeping? Wow. Are you sleeping?
No, not sleeping. Just kind of laying here thinking.
Oh, I thought I heard you snoring.
No.
Times are us. The end is definitely here. Yeah, I titled the episode "The End is Coming" or some shit. Being a smartass. So anyway, but you all need to do your homework on that. And the only way you can do that is if you start looking at and educating yourself in real estate investment. Because if you don't want to pay taxes or minimal legally, then get involved and educate yourself into real estate investments. That real estate investment company. So there you go. So your objective is not to pay as much taxes as you can. Your objective is to keep money in your pocket and pay less taxes legally as much as you can. So if you think the government's going to take money and save the planet and feed fucking homeless people, you're nuts. Do what you can to pay as less taxes as you can, and then why don't you give your money to your church to feed people, or give it to homeless people outside, or do whatever you want to do. Your money's your money. If you want to save the planet, put it where you think it should go based on charity. I don't care what he's fucking saying. He's sleeping. So I just muted his mic. I can snore. Fuck. Is that this boring? Really? You guys falling asleep on me? You should be waking up, actually, in more ways than one. So I don't know. That was brought up, and then the global warming. I'm just going to say this now. I've done heating and air conditioning my whole fucking life, and I know the law of thermodynamics. Heat is not created nor destroyed. We couldn't heat up this planet as much as we could fucking freeze it, because one's adding heat, one's taking away heat. Okay. So if I came on here and said, we're freezing the planet. Really? How in the fuck are we doing that? Because I want to know, because I'll be a millionaire. Because we won't need refrigeration. How are we freezing the planet? I.e., how are we warming up the planet? We're not. Heat comes from the sun. Period. The sun is burning hotter every year because it's getting closer to its end of life. I don't know how old the sun lasts, billions of years. There's still probably billions to go, but in the perspective of a sun's life, the sun is approaching its end, its expiration date, and it burns hotter. when it does that. So, of course, the fucking planets that are in front of it are going to get hotter. You can do your homework on that one. That's enough of that shit. As far as the women, right? I know we're not warming up the planet. It's fucking bullshit. Like I said, we need the planet's getting too cold. Do you know how much of an idiot you would sound if you went around saying that? We're cooling off the planet. It's too cold. It's going to be an ice cube. Really? You've been to fucking Florida lately? The desert? Whatever. Not to mention the weather's changing. Yeah, no shit. It's trying to find equilibrium. That's what weather does. It changes. Idiots. Oh no, you got to feel guilty for burning fossil fuels. You're warming up the planet. Oh, really? Okay. Well, then what happens when a volcano fucking blows? Are we going to tax that? Because that spits out more bullshit and heat and carbon than any time man's been on this planet. Are we going to put a cap on the fucking volcano or tax that or blow it up? Heat is transferred, not created, not destroyed. You could put a cover over a container with air in it and fill it with carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, fucking whatever you want to do. Carbon emissions. And it's not going to increase in temperature. I promise you that. Just as much as it's not going to cool off. People. I mean, wake the fuck up. Am I for polluting the planet? Fuck no. But we were given a technology that made people gazillions of fucking dollars. And for some reason now, probably because they have their money invested in electricity and batteries and all this other shit. I mean, do you really think the oil people are just going to go out of business because we don't burn oil anymore? Give me a fucking break. No. But that's a technology that was shoved up our ass that we got to use to be productive slaves. And now you're going to put a guilt trip on me and brainwash me and tell me, well, it's your fault that you fucking got the planet warm. Really? Do your homework. The heat comes from the sun or their lack of. But in this case, it's more heat. It's burning hotter. Anything that's in fucking front of it. Take a marshmallow and shove it in a goddamn fish aquarium and fill it with carbon emissions or the tailpipe of your car. I don't give a flying fuck what it is, or carbon dioxide. And let's see if that marshmallow gets hotter or cools off for that matter. I'll bet you $1 million it don't. But put it in the sunlight and it'll get hotter. All heat comes from the sun. Period. Go to school, learn thermodynamics. I don't fucking care. Heat comes from the sun, period. The sun is burning hotter. The planet's warming up. End of story. That's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay. Do your own homework. Don't listen to politicians and oil companies and everybody throwing a fucking guilt trip on you that it's your fault and you're just an asshole because you drive your car or heat your house. Or I heard on Alex Jones, and I believe this, that the carbon emissions from an electric car are higher than a gasoline vehicle. And of course, you're going to react, oh, that's bullshit. That it's impossible. It doesn't burn fuel. Oh, really? Well, the electric power plants do. And a lot of them are coal-fired. Or let's just say they're nuclear, but we're talking carbon here. That's a carbon product that supposedly has very low or no emissions with scrubbers, from what I know. But that's not what they're telling you. You're burning coal. That's horrible. That's another thing. The coal industry is just going to go in the shitter again. So West Virginia, everybody out there, you guys are fucked. And I mean that with all due respect. But coal-fired plants charging your car puts more emissions in the atmosphere than your gasoline engine, you horrible person. Do your homework. Don't take my word for it. Do your homework, okay? Because it's just another reason to tax the fuck out of you with money you don't have, okay? And then, you're not paying the carbon tax. You're trying to destroy the planet. And for my kids and children, the polar ice caps and the polar bears are going to drown. Tell the sun. Tell the sun. Tell the sun. Tax the sun. Turn the sun off. Ugh. Okay. See, we're going to solve all the fucking world's problems on the original Red Pill Show. Actually, we're not. You are. By waking up and going, what? That doesn't sound right. Do your homework by multiple sources. Jesus Christ, you got the fucking world at your fingertips with your phone or your computer. And look at 100 different sources and make up your own mind. If you can't even make up your own mind, but don't let people tell you how to think. Carbon taxes. You're going to fuck us well. You're going to fuck you sideways because you're saving the planet. Okay. Electric vehicles. What are my take on electrical vehicles? Fuck. I think they're cool. I think they're great. I'm a big Nikola Tesla fan. The electric car was invented in 1900. Again, type Tesla's black box, Arrow Pierce car. If you can, it might be the algorithms might have took it away. The transmission of wireless electricity was invented in 1900 or thereabouts by Nikola Tesla. Wardenclyffe Tower, type that. That was going to be the internet and the power for electricity to power and electrify the entire planet. So quite honestly, poverty and sickness and health due to not having fresh water and plumbing and electricity would have been fixed. But no, people like JP Morgan said that can't happen. We can't give free electricity out. It wouldn't be free anyway. Because if you had any business sense, any gizmo, that's like saying your phone's free. No, you got to pay for the fucking phone, not to mention the service. But if you license and patent every gizmo that would accept electricity, you'd make a gazillion bajillion dollars and it would be good for humanity. But no, do that. Tear that fucker down. And they did. And they tore Wardenclyffe down. Do your homework. I think electric vehicles are awesome. I think they're suppressed. I think they have been suppressed. I think 100 mile per hour, well, that'd be cool. 100 mile per gallon vehicles have been oppressed. Watch the documentary on Netflix called Gas Hole. Not asshole, gas hole. I just lost more listeners. Gas hole. Watch that. Electric cars are the shit. I mean, I don't know why this hasn't happened either. Go make yourself $1 billion. But there's no reason why you can't make rotors on a car magnetic with pickup coils, which would be calipers, over the magnetic rotors, and you just created 4 generators. I brought that idea up to Ford. They didn't fucking say shit. To my knowledge, that's not even out there. It's kind of like when you were a kid in a bicycle and you had that little generator that you leaned against the tire on the side of it to generate your headlight and your taillight for your bike. It's kind of that theory. But you have rotors spinning all the time. So while you're moving, you can generate power by making rotors magnetic with electric pickup coils that charge your fucking battery. Go for it, man. Go for it. Invent it. Do it. I don't fucking care. Why don't they do that? It's totally doable, without a doubt. But electric cars need electricity. So if they're not going to get powered by solar to recharge them, and they don't increase the battery life on them or charge or distance, they're not worth anything. They have to match a gasoline. You got to get 800 miles out of a charge, 1,000 probably, and it's got to be charged within 15 minutes. I wait 15 minutes to charge my vehicle at a quote unquote gas pump. Fuck yeah. Plug it in, go eat lunch, come back. Fuck it. You're ready to go. You got a full tank. So that's got to be done too. They're just not practical. Not yet. But if you did what Tesla did and you had a transmitter, i.e. Wardenclyffe, that was putting out high frequency energy, and you powered an 80 horsepower AC motor through his black box, which converted the high frequency wireless energy to whatever voltage the motor was. I would assume it was probably 220, three-phase. I probably figured that out. Wirelessly to power the car. That's where it all goes. Kind of think of it like a radio station, except hearing audible stuff and getting information, you get electricity wirelessly. That's what he was doing. It's what he did do. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be caught dead in a electric vehicle in a time of evacuation, because you're fucked. What are you going to do? Run an extension cord from your fucking house? You're screwed. So to get out of town, out of Dodge, for whatever reason that may be, it ain't happening. So you better put that into your bug out plan if you have one, which I think you should. So the other thing I want to get into is human rights. That I don't get, because that was another concern from a Biden voter. Congratulations, by the way. I don't know how our human rights they're inalienable and they're all the same for everybody by the Constitution. And anything that takes them away from you or infringed upon is unconstitutional. Simple as that. So I don't get that one either. As far as women rights, she was talking about abortion and it's my body. Unless you're raped and you had sex willingly and you got pregnant, it's not about your rights. It's about your education, dumbass. So put down the tequila, grab some condoms or some birth control. Because what a lot of you people need out there is to get knocked up. Do you really think there was a planned family? We'll put it this way. I'm sure there was. Every family out there or person on this planet was planned. Are you fucking kidding me? And that was a comment. Well, I want it to be planned. Yeah, right. You're going to plan your family for the right time? I got news for you. There is no right time. It just happens. Whoops. And a lot of you need that to happen to get a dose of real life and to bring another life into this world and how precious life really is. That's what y'all need. And I think that's only going to change. Why should I put a kid through this? Why should I do that? I could be so successful doing this. Yeah, that's true. So don't get knocked up. Your mistakes isn't anybody else's problems. And it sure as hell ain't a reason to terminate a life. And I encourage you to write a book. You could write a book too. Read a book called The Harbinger. And it's a story about a guy trying to find out about God and this and that and everything else. And a rabbi is trying to guide him in his quest for carnal knowledge or whatever term you want to use, spirituality, whatever, beliefs. And there was a subject about when every single nation has turned its back on God, it has failed. Period. And when the rabbi said that to this guy who's trying to learn, a student, I'll just call him, said, well, God, I'm glad. Well, I don't know if he said that. I'm so happy that we haven't turned our back on God. and that can be debatable. We're throwing them out of churches, schools, this and that. Separation of church and state, which is nothing more than the government cannot tell you to believe in so and so. It's not the other way around. It's not you do something with religion and therefore you're penalized against it. That's not what they flipped it. They flipped it. The government cannot tell you anything about religion, what religion to use to have to believe in anything of the kind. It's none of their fucking business. Okay? Because in the beginning of this country, we were a Christian-based company. Watch the movie Monumental by Kirk Cameron. The government printed Bibles and passed them out. They didn't shove them in your ass and tell you got to fucking read them. This country is Christian-based, period. You want to argue it? I don't care. Go ahead. But the government wasn't telling you got to be a Christian. They can't do that. It's against the First Amendment. But God forbid you bring up pledge allegiance to the flag and swear to God and all that shit. Oh, no, that's separation of church and state. You can't do that. No, yes, you can. They can't tell you to do that or not do that. That is separation of church and state, but it's flipped. Do your homework. But back to the harbinger. So the student said to the rabbi, well, I'm so glad we haven't fallen from God yet. And that's why I went into that rant. Yeah, we're doing a good job of doing that. And then the rabbi responded to him. It says, God has no tolerance and will not accept human sacrifice like other societies have done. Now, mind you, before I read this, I was pro-choice. 100%. None of my business. That's between you and God. If you want to get an abortion, that's fine. And disclosure, my girlfriend at the time, and she was pregnant. She got an x-ray. The doctor recommended an abortion. We did it. Okay, that's another exception to an abortion. Said we fried the kid. We didn't put a, they didn't say that exactly, but we didn't put a lead blanket on her abdomen and she had x-rays and the chances are the baby's been destroyed or damaged or whatever the fuck they said. Mind you, I was 19 years old, 20 years old, something like that. So I am guilty of taking a life by doctor's recommendation. Okay. So the rabbi said, God will not tolerate human sacrifice or doing that to a child. It's just whatever, or just human sacrifice, whatever, life, just life. And the student goes, well, I'm glad we haven't come to that in this country. And the rabbi responded, then what would you call abortion? When I read that, I felt like I got hit by a truck. I'm like, what the fuck? I just lost more listeners. What a revelation. What an epiphany. That is the original Red Pill Show right there in a nutshell. What do you call abortion? Well, that's my right as a woman, and I can. Okay. But I call that human sacrifice. You're sacrificing a human or life for your selfish own reasons, unless it's medically diagnosed or it's a case of rape. That I can understand. But just to do it because you want to advance your business career and you played hide the weenie and you forgot to have safe sex and you got knocked up, you know what? That's just the fucking way it is. And it's changed. It made me grow up by being a dad, unplanned dad. There's no such thing as Planned Parenthood. I hate everything about that. It should be called Unplanned Parenthood because that's what the fuck it is. It's unplanned parenthood. It's how you deal with unplanned parenthood, which I can promise you, there's a lot of people on this planet that were unplanned. Me for one, my 2 kids, unplanned parenthood. Okay. Whatever. What else did she bring up? Oh, the tax thing. I already talked about that. She brought up a couple other things. It's kind of scary because all I see is blame, and it's all the president's fault, and he caused all these problems, and COVID-19, and blah 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 blah. It's not one person's fault. It's quite honestly your fault. If you have the mentality that you're the victim and look what they done to me, that's all you're ever going to do is blame. Demi Moore said this on Howard Stern show because she wrote a book, because that woman's been through hell. I haven't read the book yet, but I heard the interview. And Howard Stern said something along the lines of, I can't believe what people have done to you. And she just said, I don't look at it that way because that puts me into a victim perspective. I look at it as, look what these people have done for me. And that was perfect, because that pushes you to the next level of what you're supposed to do. If you have a mentality of a victim, that's all you're ever going to be. But if you go, I mean, I don't want you to tell somebody thanks for fucking me without kissing me first. I really appreciate it. That's not what I'm saying. But the key to it is forgiving, and you don't need their permission. And forgiving doesn't mean everything's fine and it never happened. That's an illusion. That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is you forgiving them for what they did to you. And then beyond that is, look what you did for me. You're putting me where I'm supposed to be. So that's all I'm going to say about that shit. But just blaming the president or blaming anybody in your life for where you're at, there may be some validity to it. But if you keep hanging on that, you're going to be miserable. You're not going to go to the level that you need to go to. So, yes, people making decisions and doing things to you, and the government making decisions are going to affect your life. It just depends on what you do with it. And there's going to be obstacles to the day you die. But I beg of you, don't have a victim mentality. It's just pushing you where you need to be. And that takes a lifetime, if at all, if it's even obtainable. It's your journey, and you don't pick the journey picks you. I got all kinds of fucking things to say to you guys. But don't let me, don't let the government, don't let the TV, don't let your family, don't let people at work sway your beliefs and opinions of a certain thing because they're different. Because it probably will alienate you, but do you really need people that are going to manipulate you because you're not part of the gang, because you don't think like them? That's high school shit. It's dysfunctional bullying, mental abuse, compliance, apathy, and every level of dysfunctionality you can think of. You're you, so be you. Just don't go around hurting people or breaking the law or doing anything like that. Don't be an anarchist. Don't be retaliatory. Just live your life, but live your life the way you want to live it, and don't let anybody stop you. That's it. If you get anything out of the show by me saying fuck, other than, or any other colorful metaphors I use, you're not listening. You want to complain? Go ahead. Because I'll just end up doing this on Podbean, and you can download it for yourself on your phone. I don't need YouTube. I don't need Facebook. I don't need Twitter. I don't need to be censored and my First Amendment being violated or infringed upon. I need you. And I just got to get from point A to point B, and however I do that is what I will do. And right now, my prediction is going to be that's eventually going to be podcasting until somehow they regulate that, or God knows what they're going to do. Shut the internet down, filters, ID, internet ID. I don't know. Score. Eventually it'll happen. But I got 25, 30 years left. God willing, if I live to be 100, I got 44 years. I don't want to live to 100, though. But I don't have a lot to go. A lot of yous do. So I'm going to end this on a positive note. I am fascinated, floored by people in their 20s actually paying attention to politics. I don't care who you voted for. You fucking voted. There's the F-bomb. And you did something about it, and you exercised your right and contributed to this republic democracy that we have at 21 years old. That floors me. I don't care who you voted for. You voted. You're informed. You're misinformed. You're informed. And you voted in your beliefs and your ideals, what's better for you in this country. That's fucking awesome. So I congratulate you on that. And if you voted for Biden and he did win, I congratulate you on that. That's the system. And he is our president the day he gets sworn in office. Not my president, not my president. He's our president. And that's what I will call him. I won't probably agree with anything he does, but he's our president. And if you start disrespecting that position, it's going to tear down our society and our government. So remember that. Just because your favorite team didn't win doesn't mean the other one's sucking their assholes. I mean, a fun rivalry is just that. But you're diminishing the power of the most powerful position in the greatest country that's ever been on this planet that I know of, because you don't respect the position. Don't agree with anything, but respect the position. It's like your parents. Well, you don't know what it's like. Yeah, but and you don't tell your mom to fuck off and, well, you're not my mother anymore. Whoa. Okay. I'm sure that's been said. But is that really what you want? You really want to destroy your family structure because you don't agree with your mom, who probably knows a lot fucking more than you think? When you disrespect titles and people with authority that are above you for a reason, things start to crumble. So that's all I can tell you. But do your own homework. Read books. The books I brought up again that taught me about money at 27, they're outdated. It doesn't matter. You can still apply the theories and the principles. Is Wealth Without Risk and More Wealth Without Risk. And there's a couple of books. There's one more book by him. I can't remember. That's where I started to learn my understanding of personal finances and money. So you can listen to all the other gurus out there and everything else. After what I've learned and what I know, I don't agree with them. I don't. I'm not saying they're wrong. I say I don't agree with them. And there's a lot of them out there. But you don't have to agree with me. Agree with yourself. Find your way. Read as many books as you can. Watch as many YouTube channels as you can. Listen to podcasts as much as you can. And figure out on your own. There's Peter Schiff, Jim Rogers, Mark Faber, Max Kaiser. I mean, just do your homework when it comes to money and finances. That's all I'm going to tell you. And God, please learn about cryptocurrency. Just learn about it. Read the Bitcoin Standard just to read it, and you'll understand. It's about understanding. You can't do anything if you don't understand. But if you're indoctrinated or programmed to what people want you to think, like a magician smoking mirrors, really? You really pulled a rabbit out of that hat? Oh, yes, I did. And if you do what I tell you to do, you can pull a rabbit out of your ass too. There's more listeners gone. Just listen to me. Don't be stupid. That's stupidity. Is our president stupid? No. Actually, I would probably say he's a genius. And he's a chess player. So You're just looking at what you're being told, and they're twisting what he's done to blame him to make him look stupid. He's not stupid. You're not stupid. I'm not stupid. You're stupid if you listen to it and don't think for yourself. So try to do that. That's all I'm going to say. Please share the show. Hey, Ray, what's up? I got to go, though. So you're going to have to listen to the show and whatever. It's on YouTube for I don't know how long. Facebook for I don't know how long. Apple, iTunes podcasts for I don't know how long. Podbean, and a couple other things. So, but if you download the Podbean app, you'll get alerted and you can just listen to it right there. Spotify, it's on Spotify. I don't know for how long. I don't really care. I do this for fun and because I care, and it's to make you think. That's it. That's it. So think. Think. God damn it, think. More listeners gone. I got to go. Thanks for sharing the show or listening to the show. Please share the show. And comments are always welcome. And thanks, everyone. I got one little heart and more people from Jocelyn Jags. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. People that are in the Podbean chat room. Thanks to all of you. Looks like the bitch Red entered. I like that. Entered the studio. Yadar, I don't know. Bernice Ladder, 1951. Alfie 777. Thanks to all you guys and everybody else that was in there. I appreciate it. And thanks to Mardi Gras Benton for all the hearts and all the things. I really appreciate it. This isn't about agreeing. This is about learning and unlearning and re-engineering and then flipping it and making it work for you. Don't think people are out there for your best interest and benefit. I don't fucking care who they are, except me, of course. I'm the exception to the rule. And it's the truth. I love seeing people be happy and succeed. But the only person that's going to do that is you. So figure it out. All right. I got to go. Thanks. Cheers. See you later, Darren, Ray, Pamela, Grant. Sounds like Romper Room. Times and Signs. Pamela, Total Vagabonds. Dwayne. I don't care what he says. He was snoring. Mike, you can be a co-host too. You just fall asleep. Justin, that's about it. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. And have a great day and be safe, okay, and respectful. Stop the hate. And congratulations to all the Biden supporters, especially on Inauguration Day. It's going to be one hell of a ride. So there you go. Thanks for listening to me. Share the show and have a great day. You have been listening to the original Red Pill Show.